I just want to say thanks very quickly to Blubber, Grizz, and Tim Tome, and Aaron, who all hit level 10 on the Rage sponsorship thing. Getting closer, guys. 25 to go. Progress is real. So we got Romanticide, souL Armani, second semi-final. WardiTV Winter Championship preliminaries, or as Harster would say, the Winter WardiTV Preliminary Championship of Winter Summer Masters. Welcome back.
Thank you.
See how well I timed up the start of the game for your return.
That was crazy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. In the top left, spawning as the blue Zerg player. Playing for team... What is it?
Oh, Africa Freaks.
Africa Freaks. It's going to be Armani. And in the bottom right, the man who won the most talked about show match of 2021, perhaps the most talked about show match of the century, is going to be souL. What a show that was, Wardy. Did you watch a little bit?
I couldn't. I just couldn't. It was a bad time for me. I finished up my stream. I was busy.
Oh, you had the house thing going on.
Yeah,
well, right?
I'm kind of. That's kind of my life, you know. Like if I'm not casting, there's a house to do stuff with.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually not been that bad, but last week was great. So.
Let's not forget to mention that it's the second house, not the first one. It's the second house, Wardy.
Well, it's the first one that has like stairs, right? Like multiple floors, so it's, you know, it's not super crazy, right?
Right.
Right.
First is just a one-floor villa. Garden the size of 3 football
I mean,
fields.
the stairs into the swimming pool don't count, right?
I don't think it's not really in the house, Wardy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've got like garden stairs.
Help out this struggling content creator by downloading raid !raid in the chat. Don't forget to play to level 10 or Wardy won't get paid. And how will he be able to afford his Porsche in that case? Now, the start of the game here, Wardy, we see nothing exciting. Absolutely zero exciting things. This is negative exciting. It's just going to be a hatch first against a command center after a barracks first. It's going to be Reaper Marine. Knowing souL, he's going to throw down a 3rd CC before he even gets a 2nd gas. We're going to watch what Lambo coined as some of the worst Reaper micro in the world as well. With at high level. He says that souL is one of the guys that actually seems to just not try with his Reaper. He sometimes he says he tries, and then his micro is actually quite good. Like source control is not bad, but most of the time he just hits the Zergling once or twice and then pisses off. He seems to be having a good day today though, as he actually is jumping in. Ooh, this is on NA as well. This is impressive because this is really, really tricky and it feels super scary. He gets pretty low there, doesn't get a Ling. But he put in some effort there, and he showed Armani he's ready for this game. Now we're seeing the 3rd CC that I mentioned before. He kind of semi-hides it on the far right side of the base in case of that Overlord popping in later on in the game, which should be around, what is it, 335, 340? We usually see that move in, right? Try and get a feel for what's going to happen. And the follow-up here is going to be a pure 2-1-1. Or actually, the 2nd Rex was before the CC, wasn't it? I missed that. Excuse me. Oh.
God, excuse. Sorry, my streamers complain about no predictions, so I'm starting a prediction.
It's okay. I can keep talking if you want.
Nice.
So, this is the build I believe we first saw out of Maru. The only reason I know this is because Uthermal made a guide of it with Maru in the thumbnail. Where he explains his build order. We've also seen some 3rd CC before barracks, but this one just, I believe, hits slightly faster, but I think you need to either cut some SCVs or Marines to make it work smoothly. So you either have slightly less eco, or you have less Marines, and in this case we're seeing a cut on those SCVs. You see that? No 2nd SCV was being built on that natural CC for quite a while, which by the way is a mistake, of course. You always want to be cutting the SCVs from the town hall that's the furthest. So the main base, that's where you cut, because they still need to walk, right? You'd rather have them spawn closer by. So whenever you see a pro player do that, be sure to call them out on that on Twitch. That they'll love you for it.
Yeah.
Especially Lambo, he'll like that one. Also mention every supply block, as we see 2 medevacs being produced here in the main base for souL, and Actually, a decent Marine council. Yeah, he got a couple of SCVs here to get this out at a decent time and to get that third CC as well. So a highly optimized build to still hit very, very hard. You can do some play around the creep tumors at the third base, near those rocks, which haven't been taken out yet, by the way. This link production has started relatively late, starting at 50 workers. I'm just gonna try to take out at least one of those rocks before these double medevacs hit. Good patrol here with the links. souL's going to take them out, load up again, and continue his journey to eternal doom. It seems like. I think there's just too many queens, too many links here. Very early drone cut actually. So he didn't build any links initially, but I believe from what I heard the other search say is that very often we only see link production after 55 or maybe even 58 workers. So cutting at 50 is cutting it a little bit early in their opinion. I'm not an expert on this. I'm just parroting what I've heard.
Parrot very well.
I paired very well, Wardy.
I think if you were a parrot, you'd be one of the beautiful ones, you know, with like multicolors and stuff.
Do you want to hear a cool story about a parrot? As we see souL just dancing around with a creep.
Let's do it.
I want to say this was in India, but I could be wrong. Irene told me this story. Is where a parrot caught a killer, basically. So as we see some medevacs being pushed away. So what happened was a woman and a dog got killed, and it was done by a family member. And then when that family member entered the house again, the parrot started attacking him, and then he confessed. Or something like that. I can't remember. I don't always completely listen to the story.
Oh my god, we need Irene on the stream. This seemed interesting to the point that it wasn't interesting because it was told so badly.
I'm blanking on some of the details here, but I just remember there being a parrot involved and a killer, and the dog dying as well. It's very weird, but whenever you hear about dogs getting killed, it seems to do more than hearing like just a regular murder, you know. That makes it seem more inhuman for some reason, you know. Because how can the dog do? You know, but yeah, tank on the high ground is doing some damage. souL somehow managing, by the way, to get up to 130 supply during that awful story of mine. Only on a single eBay though for a very long time, so his upgrades not quite the level where he wants him to be. He's gonna be able to save the tank. Is he going to be able to save the Marines? souL's playing a good game, but I don't feel like Armani is in that much trouble if he can get another drone round in, because 66 workers at 8 minutes in the game is a little bit yikesy.
Yeah. He's just been like under so much pressure, right? He's just been struggling to kind of slow it down that little bit that he needs, and we'll see if he can do it a little bit now, right? Fourth base coming up, maybe he gets a chance. It is romanticized. It's very difficult for the Terran to push in and to kill the Zergs. Maybe there's a chance for Armani to salvage this a little bit. Is souL not gonna micro that for the first time in the game, I'd say.
Yeah, you say he's been under pressure, and that's true, but it has been relatively linear pressure, right? This wasn't like there was heavy moving around. It was just a drop at 5 minutes, and you should be capable of defending that with relative ease. He's been floating money for almost 2 minutes at this point, for a very long period of time, even above 800-900 minerals, and it feels like that should have been the drones had the injects been good, but we were just lacking some injects. Now that the macro hatch is done as well, this problem should be solved, but it feels like there's a lot of there was a lot of potential economy there that Armani could have had that he didn't have, just because of improper fundamentals there in the early part of the mid game, I would say. Perhaps even still call that the early game, right? 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, these Marines actually trading great in the main base. A couple of medevacs in some trouble now, perhaps, but you got rid of a bunch of queens. These lings run in, and I'm gonna go and not clean up either. And souL's just gonna extend an army supply lead with trades like this. I mean, this is still ongoing, right? You lift up, you go elsewhere, you're pushing into the middle again. You've got Widow Mines now. Obviously, the most dangerous part is if Armani can get some lurkers up, you can maybe break souL's momentum, but Armani might not last that long.
Armani might not last this that long as a couple of mines are burrowing. Creep is disappearing at a rapid speed as well. Slight overstimming here coming out of souL and no retargeting on the mines, but the final mine does get a pretty decent shot there. The Marine Force at the top side of the map, I'm not sure. The medevac wasn't floating around it and I felt a little bit afraid, but I mean, it's
killed like 3 more
191
queens.
supply.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah, they killed
Jeez.
like 3 more queens just during the rest of everything going on, so again, Armani just continuing to lose out, and he's got 2-2 for a moment, he's got an upgrade lead, but, you know, to make an upgrade lead really work, you actually kind of need some units usually.
Yeah, definitely true. This seems to be a rather straightforward game here for souL. I don't even think he truly needs to micro that much anymore. There's a couple of mines here. It feels like he has very high supply, but it's not really being represented in the army at the front here. Whereas, oh, he's a, holy crap. He's like an army, probably bigger, just chilling at home at the moment. Yeah, I mean, he should just be able to kill here, right? He's up 70 supply. He's getting all the upgrades he can get. 5th CC is on the way already. Before there even is a 5th base going up for Armani. Armani is getting seismic spine, so perhaps a moment of stabilization could be there in the future. But, I mean, without any creep left, it's just going to be really, really rough.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to really say, right? This army keeps on pressing in, Widow Mines just gonna keep on softening everything up. These couple of queens going down as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the last queens of the game. There's actually 1 left. There's a few Banes connected decently, but I mean, there's just gonna be reinforcements all over the place. There's a drop to the left-hand side right now. Drones are going down, and there is a couple of lurkers finally up and running, but still should have enough that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very, very sad for souL if he wouldn't be able to manage this game, because he's up in literally everything at this point. He has tanks ready, he's getting a Ghost Academy, his upgrades are looking extremely healthy, creep is basically non-existent. I mean, like...
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way he could be ahead, right? Genius. So,
yeah, wise decision by Armani. Yeah, game number 2 here, man. souL's looking strong, by the way. You know, 2 days ago, I think, or a day ago, it might have been, where...
Oh. You are cutting out. Hello? Hello? Custom is gone.
He was doing well on ladder. Yeah?
You just cut out for like 20 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, you were just gone.
I was just gone. Do you want me to do my whole spew again?
Well, I didn't hear any of it, so it depends how good it was, really.
Whoa, I think it was alright. Let me go again. Okay, so what I was saying was that, let's first do the introductions, or the people might get, you know, shaky. Bottom right, spawning as the red Terran player. He's up 1-0. It's going to be souL.
Oh, you want me to actually intro things? Like, I thought this was just a you thing.
Yeah, you do the
top left side. Blue Zerg is Armani.
I usually do both if I trick you with the position first. But if I do it properly, then you have
I'm
to
learning
some
all
work
the
as
ins and outs of the trade, huh?
Yeah, all the ins and outs. It's our signaling. No, what I was saying was that very often it feels that souL performs okay in tournaments and he does well on ladder, but he's very inconsistent because he tends to do well in these things because of relatively gimmicky builds. Like, it always felt that when souL had a new build, he was tricky to play against, you know? But then once you figured him out, like the little thing that he was doing, he would be very easy to play against. So he would literally fluctuate like between like 6'5" and 6'9", like within a matter of days, or in the worst cases for him in hours. So it was like, I think 2 or 3 days ago, where for the first time realized or felt like, hey, souL is playing really well with solid mechanics, non-gimmicky build orders, and when he's behind, he's winning games as well. Like, or at least he's playing well and he's making plays to get back into the game, which hadn't happened before very much, where I had this similar feeling. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few months we're going to see some very, very stellar results coming out of souL. I think he's in a very good place mechanically. I think the game is in a place that he likes. He likes to play the current meta, TvZ. I think he doesn't even mind TvP currently, which is extremely rare. And as that, then there's only one matchup left for him to complain about. You can't really complain about your own race, so I bet he's also feeling great about it. I don't actually know how he feels about TvT, but I'm just going to assume he just seems to be in a good spot, and it's nice to see that it's translating to a pretty good performance in this tournament so far.
Yeah. You know, souL was one of these guys that every time he played my events, and he played all of them, right? You know, we always hype souL up like, oh, souL's great, he can do well. And yeah, he's not going to win all of them. He never made it out of like groups for like the first 20 WardiTV tournaments he played in. I swear down, like it took him so long to make the playoffs or something. It was kind of a meme that I had in my head. I didn't really share because it's a bit mean, right? Like this guy always loses, but yeah. Actually, like
Nice
some point,
meme,
it was some point last year. I was like, shit, he made the playoffs, and then now he keeps doing it. So maybe he was just nervous getting cast by the big boy.
That's possible. Is that what you refer to yourself as, third person? The big boy?
The big boy word, yeah. Fine. It is now that I've tried it out.
Yeah. Right, we have a third base going down here for Armani. As we see Triple CC coming out of souL. Not exactly a similar follow-up here, right? We're going to be seeing... what do you think this is? It's not going to be Viking, right? It's going to be Banshee. Oh, he gets scouted now. 340 scout. Do you still just swap onto the tech lab? Wow, he does.
Why not?
I mean, these builds, usually when we were speaking about Heli and Banshee in the past, it was the 2-base version, right? Which is way more invested, and the importance of getting damage done with your units, rather than just controlling the pace of the game and the pace of the creep spread, it was way bigger. Now, it's not that important anymore, honestly. It's nice if you can get a couple of drone kills, but you can go into a fine game opening double Banshee, not doing anything. As I tell my entire story, souL just tricks all of us and actually actually throws down a 2 extra barracks, starts a Viking, and ooh, what is this? This was an SCV cut. Oh, this is the 48 SCV.
Oh.
5 racks. Yeah. This is a very famous build. This hits like a freaking rock, my friend. It hits extremely hard. And you cut a bunch of workers to add extra barracks very, very quickly. We only see 4 Hellions. I think in order to do this, you actually need to cut at 48 SCVs. That's why it's called the 48 SCV cut. It's also possible... Nah, these barracks are too fast, right? It's also before the 2 E-base. Yeah, this is not normal. There's something strange going on here, Wardy.
Yep, no, absolutely. The engineering bays are the big tell, right? More than anything else, I think. Just the fact that they're so late after the 4th and 5th racks, like you mentioned, is abnormal. It's
abnormal. Now, the question here is Armani keen enough to notice the timing on the E-base? If he is, then that's extremely impressive. But it wouldn't surprise me. Armani is one of the guys, by the way, as well, that last year started to really impress me with extremely solid play. Look at this SCV cut, by the way. You see that?
Yeah.
Bang. 46. He's
46.
cut 2 SCVs too early. Did he lose 2? No, just lost 1. So if he's just cutting 1 SCV too early. Yeah, this is gonna actually hit like a rock. I'm not sure what the move out timing is here. Do you wait? You have to wait for combat, right? And then probably also for 1-1. You probably try to do a little bit of damage with some Metavex before, but then afterwards, like, what's the play? Is he forgetting combat? No. He forgot for 10-15 seconds. Mediocrely big deal, Wardy. on the scale of the size of deals, that's a mediocrely big deal.
Mediocrely big deal.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That is just below the semi-big deal.
We see a bit of a move out as Lings get pushed away. Spire's coming up. I mean, the mutas in general should not help too much against this, right? Generally, you're just going to want as many units as possible, but mutas are that kind of unit which just don't help, especially initially in like a straight-up fight when there's only like 9 or 10. They don't really do that much.
Yeah, this actually plays out rather similar to an Adrax. Yeah. Just it hits faster, but the ideas behind it are similar. Like you want to cut drones quicker, obviously you need more units, but yeah, you want to be skipping your mutas, and you see that the way that that Armani played, he was set up for Muda. So right now he's still floating 700, 700. That he can't really spend in good conscience. You know, it's just not going to be possible. We see the combat shield. These 14 seconds are a big deal. These were the 14 seconds he forgot it. And oh, this is going to be a big factor in this fight, as all these Marines are going to get one shot by Banelings here. This was a game-changing mistake, Wardy.
Yeah, well, you can see the Marines just not quite where it maybe could have been. That said, there's no Banelings ready right now, so with reinforcements showing up, there's not even Banelings morphing. They just now started, so that's going to give souL some time to press forward here and really make something happen for a little bit. And he's killing off Zerglings that run in from the right side reinforcement line. It's kind of a bit rough because now you've got Marines coming the wrong way around through the middle of the map as well. Bane's are ready, but there's only a single siege tank. Is he going to go to try and save this hatchery? Transfusions will come down by him a little more time. Hatchery is going to fall before he commits in, so he's just not going to go for it. But then souL can kill the top base, and what you're doing is Armani, you're playing a 2-base situation. Ain't pretty.
Oh, wow. I thought he already had that 9 o'clock base, or I guess, what is it, 8.5 o'clock?
Yeah, I think 9's okay.
Yeah, 9.5 though. Like, it's more 8.5, no? Like 9 would be exactly in the middle, like between the natural and that 8.5. Yeah, like the 8.5 and the 9.5 race. Both of them are half an hour off. So I guess the 8 o'clock will have to, but it's not 8 either. At least, yeah. Well, this is why we need more feedback from map makers. As souL is not adding any SCVs, by the way. He doesn't have an armory either. So I don't want to say he's on a timer, but
You don't know what you want to say, do you?
yeah, because okay, well, if he gets the Evo chambers, he just absolutely destroys the clock there. But it's like if 2-2 finishes and we continue the game for like 3-4 extra minutes, Armani is going to be in a better spot. But that sounds so unlikely with the movement of souL and what the goal of this build is that it will happen. That's not any type of realistic timer, right? And if anything, if this Baneling nest dies, then Armani is the one that kind of wants to fight. Creep is quickly disappearing as well. Banelings don't get the connections that they want, and the only thing I'm worried about here is the medevac being extremely low, but with no Banelings being capable of being built here, all Banelings dying. You see souL pick up Gen 1-2 with the famed 48 Fnatic Academy with me back in the day, which must have been like 2013 maybe.
That was ages ago.
Yeah, that was ages ago, and he always showed like so much potential and like moments of brilliance quickly replaced by moments of like utter garbage at times from souL. Like honestly, like he's one of the players that is one of the most volatile results, and also like just changes, like so inconsistent in skill level. It felt like at times, correlating heavily with his confidence level in that matchup. And now seeing him do well actually does make me very happy. And of course, that's the man in the top right corner as the blue Terran.
I got there.
You got there, yeah. Proud of you, buddy. And bottom left spawning as the red Zerg down 2-0. It's gonna need to change something up. It's gonna be hard here on Oxide. It's going to be Armani.
Armani.
Did you do the echo?
Yeah, I figured, right? If I don't get to do the intros, maybe I could just like make your intros better. I'm very into.
The bar is low though.
I'm very into sound effects and samples right now after yesterday's PvZ cast. My PvZ cast yesterday resulted in me basically making a Void Ray sound effect and replaying it for 20 minutes. So. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm gonna press the button. Let me know if you can hear it. Okay. It's good, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like yours a bit more of a zzz in there.
Yeah, I think this is important, but yeah, it's fine.
I just got too excited. There's just so many Void Rays.
Yeah, they also excite me already. That's completely fine. We have Reaper on the way here for souL. Let's see if he's going to be capable of doing something here. As oh my god, he didn't. Okay, this is another thing that triggers the crap out of me, is when people don't rally their Reaper, because the Reaper always pops out at a dumb in a dumb way. So he actually delays his Reaper by like a second because he doesn't rally it properly. That actually does trigger me. Seems to be playing single gas again, right? See, no second gas going down. It's going to be going into that triple CC. What's the gas mining looking like? It's looking pretty healthy. Interesting. Curious to see how Armani is going to switch it up though, right? I don't mind the Mura idea that he had last game, but we're going to need to... I feel like he kind of lost both games where he had this massive float that he couldn't really use for whatever reason. That's painful.
It definitely doesn't help. Money is good to spend.
Yeah.
This Reaper is moving around nicely. Didn't get any kills this game though. Not much to say, huh?
I thought we were playing a game of Castor Chicken.
No, I honestly got minorly distracted for a moment, and then I came back and he was still quiet, so I was like...
Sometimes I feel like I hog the attention a bit too much, so I do want to let you say some words as well, you know?
I apologize then. It was a bad
no,
point.
it's okay. It's fine. I'll
Maybe I was just expecting you to talk for the next 2 years, so it was just... my brain wasn't ready.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, we have 2 cars coming across the map here, moving towards the left side. Yeah. This is awkward. This entire interaction here is really awkward. This is really awkward. Bad start for souL. Very bad start for souL.
Were you talking about the Hellions? Because I was watching the Starport have the worst time ever trying to counter-attack that.
No, I wasn't watching that.
Yeah, the Starport tried to go to the wrong place, then it flew towards the mineral line, then it flew back to the wrong place, then it went back to the gas. It was...
Yeah.
I imagine it was kind of like mixed in with the Hellions being controlled weirdly.
Yeah, that's exactly what was happening. The Reaper died. One of the Hellions, well, I think at this point also died or went back home. Yeah, it went back home to get repaired. Yeah, it's looking a bit so-so here for souL, honestly. Like the early game doesn't look very tight, and even though that isn't, of course, this isn't like a great indicator that Armani is so far ahead. He's building 22 links, by the way. What the heck?
So yeah, he's on pretty low drone count. Like his link count's already good as well, right?
What?
So I don't
he's
even.
all-inning. He has a Bane Nest or no? What is he doing?
No, he's on melee upgrades. Like I have no idea what he's doing, but he's almost like he wants to. I mean, there is
Catch
no
Hellions?
wall off for souL. Maybe I
he
don't
needs
know.
to attack. Yeah, 100%. If he can, he's not gonna get in. This is gonna be the silliest game in the world. Like there's 2 cars. There's no Bane Nest. What is this? There's no Bane Nest, right? No, there's not.
No, there's no way these lings do anything. He's still
Maybe he
making lings as well.
We could take out an eBay? Nah, this is...
No,
the
man,
bunker goes
it's
down.
gonna finish. It can be repaired. There's 2 Banshees, there's Marines, there's that. No. Now he starts the drone. I have no idea what the goal was. He does catch the Hellions, so only 2 of them make it back home, and one of those then dies as well, but so what? I mean,
I was expecting a Nidus. He can't believe that someone would do a build that makes this little sense, but it's actually happening. Like, this was such a weird build order at such an odd timing as well, right? The eBays go down around that time. That's pretty standard. Like, that's not a weird thing. You build them in the wall. And this is not even a hard map to wall either.
yeah.
I am absolutely shocked here. I guess he was hoping that all Hellions would be on the map. And perhaps then the wall isn't as well defended. Maybe he can bust through quickly, but wasn't the case here. We see the Banshees doing some damage. 2 Banshees doing more damage than the 40-some links that were built earlier. It's a little bit painful if you're a Korean Zerg in this game. I think souL is just in a fantastic spot, and yeah, but once again, Armani's going to be struggling with the money here. He's going to have a worse eco. Now, he's using these links well. For how bad it looked, like he gets a couple of SCV kills. At least he's doing something. He's being active with them. But I mean, souL is looking fantastic here. souL is actually looking brilliant.
Yep. Yeah, he's really just in a very comfortable position. I mean, well, as I say, he's ahead in workers. His army supply is looking good. He'll be slightly behind on upgrades, but that's the only real negative. And even then, slightly behind really is just like 30, 40 seconds off. So there's not even a lot of time in which Armani can take advantage of an upgrade lead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
on top of that, there's 3 Hellions and 2 Banshees alive, which help to deal with run buys, right? If all the cars had died and there was like half a Banshee remaining, I'd be like, okay, you know, there's not a lot to deal with run buys, but souL is going to be fine against run buys. The ability for Armani to do any type of counter damage is, in my opinion, very, very low, unless we're gonna miss a depot race of some kind, which, as I say that, kind of does end up happening, but I think there might be just enough Marines here. There's 1-1 links though, so he's going to be able to get a little bit done, but yeah, this was once again not a good trade for Armani. Yeah, he didn't miss the depot race, he invited them in.
Yeah, this was like absolutely perfectly good. This is better that he didn't have the depot raised.
Yeah, the 100%. He's up 40 supply right now. He's producing from 5 barracks. +2 has started for him, but I'm afraid for Armani here that before +2 sees the light of day, he's going to be losing this fort base. 2 tank siege up. Matter of fact, flying a little bit too far behind it. The bailing count is just not here yet. Queens are dropping like flies, and so will this fort base. No replacement on the left side yet either. The cash just isn't there, and what a weird game here out of Armani.
I know. It all comes down. He just made so many lings that did nothing at all, and it is weird to imagine what he does with those, right? Like, it feels like souL has to be doing something so outrageous to be caught off guard by that. It just...
I mean, if he does get his E-base like 10 seconds late and he doesn't have Hellions at home, the game probably does just end, right? So I understand what the plan is there. And we're playing on Central, we're playing on offside, you want to do something special, but yeah, this definitely didn't seem to be it as Armani is, he's not even gonna clean this up, and this is 1/5 of the army that is currently being rallied across the map. 2-2 on the way, souL scans the left side, sees, hey, there's a drone waiting there, but it's not building anything, so probably has absolutely no money. This is Ling Bane against Marine Tank. DG gets called and souL just absolutely destroys Armani in this series in a fantastic display of TvZ prowess.
A fantastic display of TvZ prowess. Well, GG's.
GG.